New York City lawmakers saying enough is enough as more video emerges of water being thrown on officers. Officials now want to make the act a felony. Nate Rogers was in Brooklyn speaking to one resident who's trying to turn things around.
Bill, what some believe started out as fun in the sun, gone too far, has now catapulted into a major threat on police officers' safety. Outside City Hall Wednesday, Assemblyman Mike LaPetrie and Michael Riley joined NYPD sergeants now outraged after video of another water attack on NYPD officers surfaced. Their solution? A proposed bill making it a Class E felony for anyone who throws water or any substance on a uniformed officer. Offenders could get up to 4 years in prison.
Today it's water. Tomorrow it's lye. And we have had lye thrown in officers' eyes. And they've gone blind. So that's why it has to be stern. And we also have to make sure that our district attorneys prosecute it.
The infamous videotaped water drenchings of cops began last weekend as temperatures neared 100 degrees. At least 4 incidents have occurred. In one case, an officer was hit in the head with a bucket, suffering minor injuries. Residents wet themselves up as well. Mayor de Blasio, Commissioner O'Neill, and President Trump have all condemned the attacks as disrespectful.
So what I did, I called the inspector, called the fire department, called a few friends. We put something together where we want to give back to the community.
This past weekend, Brooklyn community activist and artist Kevin Altador organized a community car wash in Canarsie. Several children and adults participated, washing nearly a dozen NYPD vehicles. It was their way of showing respect and appreciation.
This needs to stop. Yeah. This to stop people. Let's say a cop is not in a good mood. Next thing you know, somebody's gonna get shot. So I'm doing it for the community as well.
And finally, Bill, lawmakers are now waiting to speak with Governor Cuomo about the proposed bill. Altador says he's planning even more car washes for NYPD officers and their vehicles. In New York, I'm Nate Rogers for JC News.
Thanks, Nate. Let's bring in our A+ panel to break this all down. Joining us tonight, we have immigration attorney Afia Yunus.
Good to see you, Bill.
And editor of Save Jersey blog and South Jersey attorney Matt Rooney. Welcome, Matt.
Good to see you, sir.
Matt, I'm going to start with you. We have this new law being proposed. Is a new law required for this?
Well, that's what's curious about it, because most states already severely punish anyone that assaults a police officer, which they should. Assaulting any human being is not something we want to encourage, but law enforcement officials that are in the process of conducting investigations or protecting the public, we need to make sure that we have their back. So maybe it's a little bit redundant, but it's becoming such a problem. I guess I can't blame lawmakers for wanting to try to maybe focus in on this.
You know, I was thinking the same thing, and it appears that there does need to be some injury to the police officer for it to qualify as assault. So I think that's why the police officers didn't arrest the individuals who were throwing the buckets of water. But if it's not redundant, it needs to be done. I mean, these police officers are trying to ensure safety of the neighborhood, and they need to be protected.
Well, one of the concerns we've had, Matt, is that there's going to be copycats, right? There's no consequences for this. So in a way, does this law actually show folks out there that there will be consequences now and that law enforcement is going to be able to address this?
You would hope so, but I think the problem you're having in states like New York is that you've got high elected officials like New York City's Mayor Bill de Blasio that are constantly degrading the police.
Matt, you mentioned the culture, but Afia, there's another culture as well, right? And the community has issues with the police. What can perhaps we be doing, what can New York be doing better to address some of these issues?
Yeah, and I'm glad you asked that, because I feel like we need to look at the broader context of why this is happening. You know, a law in response to the specific act is good, but we also need to understand why. We need to focus more on community policing and improving the relationships between the community and the police.
It's a great conversation. We're obviously going to be talking about this more, and be sure to keep you updated on it. Thank you, guys.